Now we come to part 3. So hopefully you've managed to get this part of your painting looking like this. So now I'm going to just, as I mentioned before, you never copy a picture exactly. You're the artist, you do as you feel. I'm going to put this big tree in, that one, and maybe 2 here. So what I'm going to do just now, is it might help you, is I'm going to draw a line as to where I think that tree will end up about there. And this one here is going to come up to about there, and the big one sitting down here is going to, that's going to go right up to about the top. So at least you know where the tree is and the various heights. To paint the detail, I'm using different brushes here. I've got a sort of rigger, a pointed rigger brush, this one here. Very fine for detail. And this here is about a number 10 or 12 brush with quite a good point on it. So I'll be using these two to do the taller trees. Now the colour I used to mix up this dark green is, I use this colour here called Phthalo Blue or Windsor Blue. It's a greenish blue colour, which is super for what I do is I add some dark brown, burnt umber. Now you wouldn't think you would get a dark green colour mixing blue and brown, but that's what you do get. It's a super colour. Now I'm going to change this slightly because I'm just looking at the photograph. There's light. As I said, the sun's coming from the right hand side, so if you notice this is more of a yellowy green than a dark green. So I'm going to just add a little bit of yellow ochre here to this first part, just to let you see that. And I might add some darker green on the left hand side of the trees, just to let you see the difference between the light coming in and the dark. Right, so what happens, I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to just paint the main trunk in first. So I'm going to start with this tall one. I'm just going to come right down here. It doesn't have to be exactly straight, you know, you're not getting a ruler out to do it, it's a tree. And while I've got this colour, I'm going to do the other ones. I'm going to do that one, just start about here. Bring that down, it gets thicker as we get to the bottom. And I'm going to do this one here. Again, if you have problems painting trees, I have a video out which how to paint trees, and it shows you how to paint fir trees. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to change over to the rigger brush. It gives you the scope to get more fine lines. Right, so here we go. I'm just going to start at the top and put 1 or 2 lines in. There's some gaps, 1 or 2 there. So try not to make them all the same. I'm just thinking I should have painted that trunk more brownish colour. So what I'm going to quickly do is change this a bit. I'm going to drop some browns and just little bits. I'll need it when the sun shines. Just little bits. There we go. Right, back to the green again and the bits of branches on the trees. So you can see that I'm just painting them all different. You don't do this. I'm just going to stop for a minute and let you see. You know, I've seen people doing this. They paint one branch, they're all the same. Don't do that. It just doesn't look right. It's better just having a go at your own attempt at squiggly lines. And as you can see, it starts to look a bit more realistic. Right, this is where I'm going to add a bit of yellow ochre. I want to get some of these ones over here more yellowy. The reason for that, the sun coming in from the right hand side. There we are, that's quite nice. And just take some across here, and that'll do. Right, that looks okay. So I'm quickly going to just zoom in a bit and let you see the actual detail of this. This one looks a bit sturdier, this tree. It's a bit shorter and looks a bit more full rather than open like some of these branches. Again, you might want to practice on paper and just have a go at this. Just feel free, just let the brush go and see what it turns out like. Just going to carefully watch this bit here and just come down. There we are. Right, that's that one. And we move on to the last tall one over on the left hand side. So start off. Yeah, this one looks more like like that. I'm just going to avoid doing that, so I'm just going to put one or two in. You can see I'm speeding up. I really just want to get all this in now, and that will be it, just about finished. So once you get this done, this could be your Christmas card to your family and friends. Or you could finish off the painting, get it framed and give it to somebody as a member of the family as a present. Right, there we go. I think that's not too bad. Right. So to fill in the rest of the trees, I'm put two, I think, over here. And I'll just use the big brush to let you see how that turns out. Just going to take them up to about there. Yeah, that'll do. I'll make another one. I'll take one here, single, just to fill in this sort of left-hand side of the painting. That'll do. And maybe put one in here. So you can see this is a very loose style, which is quite effective. Right, that'll be enough. So we're on the last part now. What I've done is I've just mixed up a dark brown, and I'm going to start painting some detail on the cabin. You do this bit first on the left hand side, that which will be darker. And then I'm going to put, just going to go straight across here. There's some lines to suggest the woodwork. That'll do, just a bit of detail up there. That's fine. Right, I think I'll put just a bit, suggest a window there. And I'm going to suggest a bit of the door. This is not in the picture, but that'll do. Now, just one or two other little bits. That grey colour that I had for the snow. Just mixing it up. I need a little bit of that. Just going to add one or two little bits and bobs, which basically just help to little dots and suggest one or two rocks sticking out of something. Little bits there. Maybe suggest some footprints. This is the bit where you could waste your painting. I'm going to just bring that around here and soften that off. And what I'm trying to do is mingle that in there. There's one or two sort of darker bits suggest there's humps of snow. And what I'm going to do is just soften that off so that that's fine, that'll do. And again, I'm almost finished now. I'm just going to put one or two little bits suggest there's grass sticking up, or as I say, this is when you start to waste it, so don't overdo it. One or two bits there. It's going to suggest something there, and that will be it. I think there's a bit of movement on that side. Right, that will do. Down tools. Finished. I'm using some gouache just to put some bits of white on the trees. I actually forgot to do this. I'd taken the camera down, so I'm just holding this in my hand. Don't want to overdo it, but it just adds a little bit of that wintry feel to it. Put a little bit on the and above the door. Keep that nice and white. I think that'll do. Maybe one or two little bits there. Right, that's fine.
Well, here we have the finished painting. Looks nice and fresh and bright as snow scene should be. So, for yourself, it's 3 stages, remember, so make a nice simple sketch. Then get the paints out and put the sky in, the distant hills, the cabin and these super grey shadows. Then I would recommend you stop, have a break. Possibly a day, come back the next day, you'll feel refreshed and keen to get started. And you'll see that I started with the big trees, so you might want to practice 1 or 2 of these on some scrap paper first, and then get the big ones in, and then these smaller ones. A bit of detail on the cabin, and that's you finished. So good luck, hope it works out, and keep painting. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and best wishes for 2024.